Okay, for this project, I'm going to be using a wood pumpkin that I thrifted. I have thrifted several of these. And I am going to be using, this is paper that I used to use in my Cricut, like a vinyl type paper, almost like a contact paper. And I am going to cut a piece off, and then I am just going to apply it onto the wood pumpkin, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so you saw how simple that was. And so it still is sticky on the other side here, but what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to be using my finger sander, and just like with decoupage paper, I'm just going to go along the edges and sand off the extra so I'll have a smooth edge. And you can see it's cutting just like decoupage paper, except it is sticky on the back. So just be careful with that. Okay, so I have that all sanded. This is very simple, and you can leave this as is, and then you would just have a little shelf setter like this. But for mine, I am going to go ahead and paint the sides and the back, and I am going to be using Dixie Belle paint in the color Soft Pink. Okay, so this pumpkin is all painted and dried, and I was showing you a little bit in the video before what it would look like not painted on one side, and then, you know, what it would look like if you paint it. So I went ahead and I did a smaller, just a little bit smaller pumpkin, a little bit different shape, and I did the same thing, except I added some gold metallic paint around the edges, if you can see that. So that's what that looks like if you wanted to add gold paint. But I love the way this looks. It matches, the paint color matches this contact paper so well. I don't even think that you can tell it's contact paper. And the same for this one. I think it looks really good. And I'm going to leave this one with a plain edge for right now. I know I'm not going to put gold on it, but I may put some of the Tim Holtz distressed ink on it. I'm not for sure yet. Now I have another pumpkin idea for you. I have taken a piece of chenille bedspread, an old bedspread that I had used to make some other like chenille pumpkin bowl fillers, and I am going to turn it over, and I'm going to trace around the pumpkin, and then I'm going to cut that out. And so I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Alright, so I have that all cut out, and it fits pretty good. You can kind of stretch it a little bit if you need to when you're putting it on. But I'm going to be using a Fabri-Tac glue, and that's how I'm going to be gluing on my piece of chenille to the wood. But you use the glue of your choice. Alright, so here's what this one looks like all completed. And I've done another smaller one I will show you at the end of the video. I used the chenille, but I've done the sides and the back in pink, and then I rubbed some pink across the chenille. So I will show you that one at the end of the video. And I'm going to work on one more, possibly two more. I've ordered something for another pumpkin, but it's not here yet. So hopefully it comes in and I'll be able to do that pumpkin also. But for this next pumpkin, for the first step, I'm going to be giving it a coat of Dixie Belle in Magnolia. So I will go ahead and paint that, and I will be back when it's dry. Okay, while we're waiting for the bigger pumpkin to dry, I have another smaller pumpkin, and this is a pretty simple thing to do. This is gift wrap. You could use any gift wrap that you think would look good on your pumpkin. I just wanted some polka dots and a little bit of gold. So all I'm going to do is use a glue stick, and I am going to glue the paper onto the pumpkin. All right, I'm just going to let this wrapping paper dry, and then I will be back and use the finger sander, and just like we do for decoupage paper, I'm going to be making a smooth edge with the finger sander. Okay, so here's what this one looks like. It was just that easy. And it's almost, the wrapping paper was almost the color of the wood pumpkin. So I'm not even going to paint the back or anything. I'm just going to leave it as is. All right, for this pumpkin, the paint has dried. And what I'm going to do is I have a piece of an old doily that needed some help, so I'm just using it in projects. And so how I'm going to glue that down is I'm just going to use a glue stick, and I am just going to put it all over the piece. It's just easier that way because it's hard to tell where to put it on the doily. So I am just going to put the glue stick all over where the doily will be going. And then I'm just going to lay it down in there. And kind of spread it out the way I want it to lay. You could use any doily for this, and even if your doily or piece of linen is stained, once this is dry, you could paint over it too if you wanted to. I'm not going to paint over this one, but I have done that before. I think I've done that in a video on a terracotta pot maybe. But yeah, it's just a good way to repurpose. You're still being able to enjoy the doily. You're just taking out the bad parts or the stained parts. Or if you do have one that's stained, consider painting it if you don't like it. Or maybe tea dyeing or coffee dyeing it. But I think this is really cute. And once the glue dries, you'll never even know that there's like glue stick in the other parts. And I'll probably either put like something on the stem up here, or maybe add a bow or something, but I'll show you at the end of the video. Okay, this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the black and white checked contact paper to come in, and I'm going to do one of the pumpkins with decorate one of the pumpkins with the contact paper. So I would say decorating the wood pumpkins with contact paper is a very simple way. Your glue is already on there basically, and you can embellish it if you want to with whatever you would like, or you can leave it as is. I'm thinking about putting a little bit of gold paint around the edge, but I'm not for sure yet. And for this pumpkin, I am going to be using wallpaper. This is just like a regular wallpaper. It has a little bit of texture to it where the writing is, but you could also use textured wallpaper. I have done that in the past, and that is pretty awesome too. And then you can dry brush over the top, or you could paint over the top. But I'm just going to use glue stick, and I am going to glue this on to my pumpkin, and then I'll go around with the finger sander and sand the edges, and I will show you when I'm done. All right, so here is the one with the wallpaper. I really like it. I think it's unusual, but I really like it. And I don't think I'm going to decorate this one. I think I'm going to leave it as is. Would you decorate it if you had done a project like this, or would you just leave this one as is? And last, but definitely not least, I had to create one for all my junk journal friends. And so I'm going to be using washi tape, just different varieties of washi tape, and putting them on the wood pumpkin. And then if you wanted to do something differently with your wood pumpkin next year, you could do that, because this will just come right off. As you saw me using glue stick right there, some of the washi tape is more sticky than others, and this one right here, I just added a little bit of the glue sticks to help it stick. Now I'm hoping just to use my finger sander and sand off the excess washi tape. I think that will be fine, just to give that smooth edge. I think this will be super cute. Okay, so there we go. You could leave it like this, or I have made like a little bow out of some fiber trim, like eyelash trim and that kind of thing. And I'm going to glue that on there. And then I have this number 10, and I'm going to put that on there also. Okay, so here are some of the completed pumpkins, and I will show you more of them in just a moment. There's the little washi tape one. I think it's really cute. And then the wallpaper one is behind that. And then we have the paper that I used in my Cricut, like the vinyl. And then there is the black and white contact paper. And then I will show you the others. But I want to thank you so much for watching today, and thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel. I have a lot of new subscribers, and I am very thankful for that. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a great day.